What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. You know, I try my best not to really, because I hate being like typecast. Is that the word for it? But I guess in this sense, right here, be typecast as a commentary channel. I don't want, and I gotta stress this because I don't think anyone believes me when I say this because of the little numbers I've been doing lately in comparison to my subscribe count. In reality, I don't want to keep harping on AEW. I really don't. It's not even necessarily about the numbers. You see, I put out my retro pay-per-view videos and they don't really do good numbers. I just like talking about professional wrestling in general, whether it's the news, whether what's going on, yada, yada, yada. But when something makes headline news or something that is trending that really intrigues me, and it happens to be AEW in every goddamn circumstances that happens to be the one that's trending, what do you want me to do about that? I don't know what you want me to do. I'm a commentary channel. I gotta cover what's trending at the moment. In WWE, they tend usually to trend less than AEW. Right now, they're not trending for anything. Right now, it's just getting ready for Raw later on tonight. But here I am. I look to the left and I see Kenny Omega. I don't think he's trending right now at the moment, but he's headline news on some of the news articles that I read, that I'm subscribed to in order to prepare for the channel. And hell, he's doing it again. I don't want to harp on AEW. Like I said, I don't want to do that. I want them to grow. I want them to be good. I don't want to criticize them as much as I have to criticize them, as much as I do criticize them. They're just directly in my face with the nonsense. They're right there. It's like the guy who walks around. I know Ben Shapiro used this reference one time, and I absolutely agree. It's like the person who walks around with their faces all pierced up and all tatted out of the fucking world, and they got a mohawk and all this other shit, and they go, "What are you looking at? You, bitch, what the fuck you mean? You, look at you right now." That's how I feel like everybody really responds whenever I talk about AEW. I said, what do you want me to do? Ignore the news? The fuck? Check this out though. Once again, during a recent Twitch stream, by the way, articles in the description box, Kenny Omega responded to a comment about Logan Paul being a fantastic wrestler by offering his candid opinion on Paul's dedication and skills. Omega acknowledged that Paul has managed to impress many fans with his performances, but wasn't really convinced Paul is a fantastic wrestler. However, he questioned whether Paul could compete in a more challenging environment like New Japan's G1 tournament, where wrestlers must consistently deliver high-quality matches night after night. Omega expressed doubt about Paul's ability to perform at that level, suggesting it depends on his commitment and whether such a pursuit aligns with his goals. Omega pointed out that Paul seems focused on establishing himself in WWE, where he aims to succeed and become a star. He acknowledged that the WWE style caters to Paul's growth and development, giving him time to become familiar with his surroundings and work on his performance. Omega concluded that if Paul continues to hone his craft and adhere to the WWE style, he could eventually perform at a high level similar to wrestling legends of the past. And a quote from Kenny Omega, this is coming from his Twitch stream. Logan Paul is a fantastic wrestler. Great. I'm glad you think so, and I'm glad he's able to convince you such a thing. However, could Logan Paul walk into New Japan and do a G1 where he'd have a walk-in every night and have an actual banger? No, he absolutely could not. Is he gonna get there between now and, it depends his commitment level, and not only that, does it matter? No. He's clearly setting his roots down in WWE, and that's where he wants to succeed, and that's where he wants to be a star, and that totally makes sense. So for the WWE style and what they're willing to do for him, give him time, allow him to grow, develop, get more familiar with his surroundings, take the time to have him have everything up in here, his head, I guess is what he's referring to make sure that when it comes time to perform what it is that they've rehearsed, what they've scripted, that he'll be able to pull it off as though he just showed up to the arena. You know, how the old timers did back in the day, the Terry Taylors and the Terry Funks. And that's the end of the transcript and the entire article. Again, link is down in the description box if you feel I botched the words, which I didn't. I just kind of slowed it down because they apparently have AI typing at Ringside News. So some of the words you kind of got to fill in the blanks in order to, make it a complete transcript because, those guys are retarded and lazy as fuck. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about this real quick. So Kenny Omega, I think he fails to understand that you have people from the indie circuit, from NXT even, who transition to the main roster, and they themselves have to, they have to hone the WWE style, right? It's not just a one-way street. I feel like it's a lot harder looking at how the wrestlers perform, like a Shinsuke Nakamura, for an example. I think it's a lot harder to transition from that style to the WWE style, right? Because that means you have to restrict yourself and still be able to put on really, really nice matches. Because, God forbid WWE doesn't want their talent to be hurt. God forbid that WWE doesn't want their talent to be on the shelf every fucking week you look around and you turn around, right? Like, sorry that they want to go out of their way to, make sure that doesn't happen all the time, because you have a bunch of geeks, a bunch of losers who want the wrestlers to go out there and hit each other in the face for real in a fake sport. That's not how professional wrestling is done. That's how performance art is done, Kenny, my boy. That's not how that works, man. I just hate that outlook, that perspective on professional wrestling when it comes to WWE, that they're the easy style professional wrestling. What the fuck is an easy style of professional wrestling? You go out there and you fucking do predetermined moves. You call spots, or you do what you were told by your producers or your road agents. Is it really that difficult? Huh? Is it really that difficult? Now you take all those things and you put it into one and you make magic out there in the ring. Hopefully the stuff that you're doing in the ring, it correlates with the story and with the character that you're using in order to get over. If you take one of those things out of context, if you don't do those things and what would you say, like in a linear, I guess you could say, if you do not do any of those things within your match that complements every aspect of the fundamentals that you're using in order to tell said story, then you're not a good wrestler, Kenny. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. They have such a fixation on a certain criteria that makes them believe that they're one of the best in the world because they excel in said criteria. Like I said, it's like high school, right? It's like any kind of school, right? You go to school, right? And let me ask you a question. If you happen to be fucking fantastic, just banging it out, advanced classes and all when it comes to math, but you're a complete retard when it comes to language arts. You can't read a fucking word. You go to science class or biology or chemistry and you fuck up there too. You go to world history and you couldn't tell me George Washington from George Bush. You go to PE and you forget to dress out a couple of times because your mom didn't want to, be a mom and actually wash your clothes for you, right? Because she doesn't like you, is what I'm insinuating. She wishes your dad was around still so he could have been able to take care of you. Or better yet, she wishes your dad was, in that point in time and pulled out quick enough and used tissue as a contraceptive. You fell in music because you didn't blow hard enough. I mean, you blew the fucking musician teacher a lot harder than you did the fucking flutes. My point being is, all these things that you fucking fell at because you're a dunderfuck, but you excel in math, does that make you qualified to graduate high school, to graduate middle school, to graduate elementary school, to graduate to go to college? What college is going to accept you if you happen to be one of the world's biggest retards when it comes to all these other courses, but you're very good at math? Versus somebody else who's also very good at math, and they're very good at language arts, and they're very good at this, and they're very good at that, and they're very good at this. Who do you think they're going to accept more, even though you excel very well in math? That's how these wrestlers think nowadays, and they're so fucking one-sided. I don't know if it has anything to do with their own bias as far as what they like growing up in the business or what they actually cater to the most when they watch professional wrestling, but no, you see Logan Paul go out there, he tells a coherent story. He's athletic. He actually never botches his spots, Kenny. That makes him about as complete as a wrestler one can be. Just because he doesn't go out there and he actually knees people in the faces for real, because he doesn't go out there and he throws the strongest lariat in the world, making sure he collapses every fucking bone in a person's neck. Just because he doesn't go out there and he tries to play up to Dave Meltzer's personal perspective of what makes a 5-star match, because of course we're talking about the same guy who wouldn't give 5 stars to Undertaker and Shawn Michaels or Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, but Lord knows this random match with Kota fucking Ibushi somewhere in bumfuck Japan, that totally gets a 7-star match, right? Because they happen to throw moves that actually connect, and because the whole object of professional wrestling is not to throw a move that looks like it's landing, but in reality, it's not landing. The moves dictate the star rating, and you want me to what? Look at what Dave Meltzer is saying? Coming from an alumni like fucking Kenny Omega here. Look, this isn't dissing Kenny Omega from the aspect of not saying that he isn't a good professional wrestler. Yeah, I acknowledge that. But I also acknowledge that he fails in other fucking situations. He fails in other criterias that does not make him a complete wrestler. He is very athletic, right? He is gifted when it comes to actually doing the moves. I'm not taking that away from him. If that's what you conclude as far as what makes a good wrestler, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I feel like you need to go back in the past and you need to go watch more matches. Not just your bubble bias New Japan bullshit, but actually go back in the past, watch legends do this, the same legends that Kenny Omega referenced, watch how they did it, watch what built up to their matches, watch how they actually carry themselves in their matches, and you'll know what a complete wrestler is. But see, here's the problem though. You think that I have a problem per se with just that? No, that's just one aspect of what I have a problem in regards to this entire article. What I have a problem with in regards to what Kenny Omega's saying rhetoric-wise on his fucking Twitter post, on his Twitter page, or whatever fucking Twitter fucking video that he's actually doing at the moment, Twitch, whatever, okay? I'm 31 years old. I'm about as old as Kenny Omega, psych. But my point being is, I don't have a problem necessarily with that. I do, but I don't, right? You're always going to have people who have a perception of what they view about their professional wrestling as far as what they feel actually curtails to their audience base. And you're going to completely ignore the other side. Like I said, it's politics. Republicans stay in the bubble. They don't give a shit about what Democrats think. And Democrats do the exact same thing, vice versa. I get it. Right? It's a divide. Natural. Go back to your natural habitat. What I have a problem with necessarily, specifically, is the hypocrisy. It's the blatant, fucking hypocrisy when it comes to people like Kenny Omega and people within the AEW camp and professional wrestlers in general. They'll sit here, right, and they'll tell the wrestling fans, who, by the way, know nothing, have no knowledge of what the fuck is going backstage. How do we get this information, huh? How do we get this information? How does Sean Ross Sapp get his information? How does Ryan Satin get his information? How does David Bixenspan get his fucking information? How did Raj Geary get his information? Dave Meltzer get his information? Brian Alvarez get his information? You know how they got their information? They got their information through the people who are inside the building at that moment, relaying everything to them, and then they relay it to us. They get paid to take information from one perspective, filter it, take it from another one, filter it, give you a one bundle deal, and tell you a story. They do a better story than what fucking most wrestlers can't do. That's why we care more about the backstage stuff than we do the actual fucking creative. Kenny, my boy, how many times did you guys tell us not to be tribalists? It's not just you. Your friends in the business do it all the time. Oh, my tribalism, tribal, civil warfare, civil war, wrestling fans just love professional wrestling. Oh my God, I love professional wrestling. But here you are going out of your way, bashing a fucking wrestler, a fellow wrestler. You don't have to like him. You don't have to respect him because he didn't put in the grind like you, but a wrestler is a wrestler. Is he not signed to a wrestling company? Is he not in a wrestling ring performing? Hate it or love it, he's nothing. He is your contemporary, right? He's like you in the same field, just like you. Whether you respect him is neither here nor there. He is. He has the same exact job title as you. So what gives you the right to come at us as wrestling fans and constantly call us toxic when you do shit like this? When you can bash us? See, when you go on Twitter and people bash other wrestlers, when you go on Twitter, especially when you go after the women wrestlers, it's we're toxic this, we're pieces of crap this, misogyny this, it's this, that, and the fucking third. When it's us saying it. But when a Kenny Omega can go out of his way and he could bash a Logan Paul, be super duper fucking condescending, saying he's not a good wrestler to me. Oh, but if he hones his craft in the WWE style, because those guys right there, they're soft, they're trainees, maybe use them as a stomping grounds to get on my level, buddy. When you talk like that, so tell me, what's any different from hearing him say that versus people saying that NXT is a developmental brand who's nowhere near AEW style? By the way, coming from the AEW camp, what's really the fucking difference? You peddle the same talking points. You speak the same rhetoric. You give the same energy, but you'll be the first one, you and your compadres will be the first one to shout tribalism, toxicity. The first fucking ones. That's the problem that I have with this. And they'll forget all about this. No one will ever bring this up. Just like they forgot when Kenny Omega went out of his way to blatantly call out Jim Ross and then play it off as, I'm a heel. I'm just going to do the heel things because I'm a heel, even though I'm actually really putting Jim Ross in harm's way. And, you know, most heels actually go on television and they get heat. They don't act like total little bitches on Twitter and actually throw their people underneath the thing, you know, under the bus, coinciding with the same time when Jim Ross buried the AEW roster for being a bunch of fucking nitwit dipshits flying around the ring. Totally not coinciding with that at all, right? Right? I should know. That was one of my, if not my highest viewed video commentary watch from my old Millennial Smart channel. You see, these people, they could take it. I mean, they could dish it, but they can't take it, right? They're glass houses that throw stones. Any type of cliche you want to use in order to talk about the fact that they're fucking hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. They're double standards. They contradict themselves all the time. They cannot be trusted. I can sit here and I can acknowledge Kenny Omega for being highly athletic, but I can also at the same time tell you that I don't believe that he is a complete wrestler. I can sit here and I can tell you that I do not think of him as the best in the world, because the best in the world know how to do every criteria, if for anything else, even if it's at average. I would rather have people with straight C's than a person with one A and straight F's and D's. Okay, I'm sorry, Kenny Omega. I do not find you to be a complete wrestler. I do not find you to be the wrestler who could actually go out there and do all the fucking things that people want them to do. You do what your fucking fanboys want you to do, and therefore, no, you stay within a bubble, and therefore I do not qualify you as a complete wrestler. But when I say it, I'm toxic. When I say it, I'm a bad person. When I say it, it comes from the perspective of tribalism, even though I go after WWE just as much as I go after AEW. I go after AEW even more harsher, and lately it seems like I go after more AEW nowadays, but that's because they stay in the fucking headlines with their fucking stupidity. I'm sorry, I know, I'm the bad guy. Maybe I should just cover my nose, cover my eyes, cover my ears, cover my hands, cover all senses on my body, and pretend that this company doesn't exist, like how everybody actually realizes that this company doesn't exist, and the rest of the world outside of your 700,000 bubble. Forgive me, Kenny Omega, for using the same exact logic that you do when I come on my commentary videos and I talk that you like to bash. Not my specific video per se, not my specific channel, but people like me. Sorry that you're only allowed to sit on your fucking golden chair and you get to have opinions such as this because you happen to be in the business. Yeah, and we're both not chefs. Let me see you ever go out of your way to criticize Doritos, and I swear to God, I'm elbowing your shit before I get my ass kicked. It's pitiful. It's disgusting. It's terrible. And they all get away with this all the fucking time. And we allow for them to get away with this. Stop it. Stop pandering to people who don't like you. Stop it. Stop going out of your way to court people, because that's what you're doing, okay? Suspect as fuck, by the way. You're courting these wrestlers on social media, trying to get appraisal from them when they couldn't give two shits in a fucking bucket what the fuck you think. In fact, they'll criticize you just like that if it means benefiting their own narrative, but then they'll turn around and do the exact same thing they criticize you over, even though you were taking up for them the entire time. I've seen it plenty of times play out on social media. Don't pretend you haven't seen it, and don't pretend 9 times out of 10 it hasn't happened to you either. If not directly, indirectly. No, Kenny Omega, Logan Paul's a good wrestler. Some may say he's a better wrestler than you. What do you want me to say? That you have to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling in order to be the complete wrestler? No. That's not how I vibe. I'm not a Dave Meltzer cuck. I'm not a Wrestling Observer newsletter slave. I'm my own person, and I have variables, and most importantly, I have standards. Let me know down in the description box. No, actually take that back. Learn that in the comment section. Right, totally. Because description box, you can't do anything. That's only me. I'm retarded. That's fine. Let me know your thoughts down in the damn it, say it again. Comment section. Fuck! Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Boom, got it. About the whole situation regarding Kenny Omega talking about Logan Paul. Do you agree with what I'm saying? You probably have more thoughts down below that you're going to probably interject. As long as you're staying consistent with what the fuck I'm saying and you're not making up bullshit and saying that, Devontae, you believe things that don't actually matter in professional wrestling. Why'd you say this when I never said that? Listen, open up your ears. Okay, that ear hole isn't just for guys fucking it. Open it, listen, pay attention. There you go. Now come type in the comment section and join the conversation with the rest of the fucking normies. With that being said, let me get the fuck up out of here. I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P eyes.